one thing I was interested in getting your take on was the future, not too much of the future of automation, and I suppose how OT will integrate with IT, and in particular cybersecurity.
Yeah. I suppose traditionally the automation systems have been very remote, and they've not even been connected to networks and things. So yes, facing that challenge of now being part of the overall network. Cybersecurity is a big issue. And the other thing is that keeping systems up to date really helps you with cybersecurity. So we have some customers who are a little bit reluctant. They've got their system nice, it's validated, we don't want to mess it up, and to do an upgrade seems like the wrong thing to do. But the way to keep things current and safe and on, you've got all your virus protection always current. That's you have to keep moving. These are moving targets now, aren't they? So.
With updating things. I think it's it's integral, I think, to keeping ahead of times with the production. Facilities of the future, AI.
Oh yeah,
it's obviously the in topic.
It absolutely is the in topic. So it's I just love it. The little bits of dabbling I've done, it's so useful. It's becoming a friend, and I love the fact you can argue with AI.
Well, I've been told that you make sure you say your please and thank yous when you ask it to do something.
It's gonna blacklist you otherwise.
So I'm very polite to it when I ask things, but I'm using it on a daily basis now. It's really, really good to get information, data, knowledge
for everything. Down to my glass kiln and things, and finding supplies for things. But so recently I've been involved in updating a good practice guide, and I've been using AI to help me see how the standards that we based some of the original material on, how have they changed in the last 15 years, so that we can update the relevant passages in the text. So there's lots of things. I heard some people asking about training. So ISPE does a lot of training, and they were saying, but we're open to the market in Australia, but I don't know what the regulators are in Australia are. AI does.
You can
AI can give you, it's much more than a search engine. It can give you so much more, so quickly.
And is there anything in particular you've seen businesses using AI to help them? I don't know if you've got any examples of how to use it.
I haven't got examples of it being used, but certainly conversations about how it's going to be used. So one of the things... So automation engineers aren't computer system scientists. So we have to do a lot of training to say things like, well, if you're doing bespoke code, it needs something called a code review. You need to check the code has been written to good coding standards. That's so that later on we can maintain it easier. So just even things like comments in the text so that somebody can understand what the programmer was trying to achieve. AI could do that code review so well. It could also do a review against the requirements that code is being built with, and review the code with does it look like it's going to work? Which we ask our SMEs to do as a code review, but when you've got 3,000 pages of code to review, you get a bit weary, don't you? AI just doesn't seem to get weary.
And it'll do it in 80% quicker, I suppose.
No. Flash of an eye. Once it's learnt the rules it's looking for, and then it's going to have to, what I can foresee, it'll have to flag up some errors, and maybe they get corrected. But ultimately, I think we'll get to the situation where one organisation's computers are just talking to another organisation's. There won't be that much human interaction. Because I don't know about you, but you just put something in your sat nav. You don't necessarily check it's going the right way. Do you just rely on it nowadays?
Which is a fault of my wife's quite often in terms of going the wrong places. I have to double check when we're going anywhere.
But it's the fact that so quickly we learn to rely on these things because they seem to help us, so we let them. And I think there's got to be some regulation around that. But
do you think that's far off? Or do you think do you think it's going to be?
No, I think that's an interesting question. So when I was at uni, talking like 1987, people were starting to talk about systems that were like an MES, a manufacturing execution system. I didn't really see those coming into being until 2005, say 2008, something like that. However, with AI, everything's accelerating, isn't it? You can see these changes. I'm going to be out of date very, very quickly. You can see these changes are just going to go so fast now. So that's why we've got to get in and use it rather than worry about it.
I think you have to. I think you need to embrace. And I think the people that do embrace and the businesses that do utilise and learn and grow with it will have the biggest, I suppose, benefits from it. Is there any, obviously I think the big scare around AI is data, how easy it is to get things. What are the concerns in a business in life science around cybersecurity and AI, and is there anything that's...
Well, just as you said, so it's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there is that idea of somebody else is going to get my data, isn't there? And data as a commodity is now something that's so valuable. Used, to train your AI or whatever it is, that is going to be really something more important. But
we'll see. Let's see how the next few years go in terms of...
It's scary, isn't it? But exciting as well.
It is, definitely.